Good evening, Blues. Manchester City are through to the next round of the Carabao Cup after a 2-1 win at Watford. That was certainly an early Carabao Cup round game. It probably could have been 3 or 4-1 or something like that. Maybe they could have had another goal. We had plenty of chances. They got a little scrappy in the last 10 minutes, but I've been around the block enough to know that these games can happen. Every now and then you can get the odd game where the young lads are on the pitch and they get a bit tired and they lose their head a bit. But I was not concerned about it. I more than enjoyed bits of that game. Not perfect, but I'd expected nothing less. 48 hours after the Arsenal game with the senior players there, this early on with so many players on the pitch without much fitness, I expected a game of this sort of quality, and we saw some quality, which was really, really nice. Of course, this is Esteemed Kompany. If you are new to this, I'm a lifelong Manchester City fan. Give the channel a little bit of love. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new here as well. It does mean the world to me. Give the video a like. I make content on a regular basis. Let me know your comments as well, your thoughts on the game in the live chat or afterwards when the video's up on YouTube. It would be massively appreciated. So we're through to the next round. That is literally all that matters. And there was no injuries, and some players got some much-needed minutes. And we saw a new narrative or two for some of the younger players, which was always good fun. I'll bring up the story of the game there for you on screen. Of course, it started 5 minutes into the game. Jeremy Doku scored a lovely little goal from the centre, drilling it into the bottom corner. McAtee was the man to initiate the attack with a wonderful bit of pressing. He caught the keeper unaware, took the ball off him, played it back to Jack Grealish. Grealish had his head up, played a first-time pass back to... Actually, it wasn't a first-time pass. He played a pass back to Doku, flicked it backwards, got the run on his defender and put it in the bottom corner. It was a really nice finish, actually, from Jeremy Doku. Nunes scored a goal later on in that half, which was beautiful as well. It came from some great work, particularly from Rico Lewis. He got the ball, did that effervescent, darting, driving run that he does. Look for a 1-2 with his fellow academy graduate, James McAtee. McAtee, of course, good enough to get the ball back to him. Rico Lewis picked up the ball, played it back to Nunes. He put it in from about 20 yards with his left foot. A really nice goal. His celebration was weird, actually. He looked moody and sulky, which I do not like at all. I would love to know the context of that, but if that was a non-happy faces thing, oh, what are you doing, you silly man? If you're going to be miserable, don't bother. Play with happy faces or you're done, my friend. You got to be patient. You got to prove it. And if you're not proving it, you're not playing. It's pretty much on you. And look, if you're going to sulk about it, you're essentially proving Guardiola wrong there. I don't know, but it was a really nice goal. I didn't like his celebration, no. Second half, we saw Savinho come on. Here's the stats for you in the second half. We had 15 shots, 2 big chances there. The first half, no technically big chances. We created loads of chances. Savinho had a cracking game, by the way. Savinho nearly scored a wonder goal. He had another one cleared. He nearly scored a goal where he beat went half the pitch and had it cleared off the post. Sorry. And then he had another one cleared off the line, and then he should have had an assist as well with Jack Grealish. You had a cracking little game. They did score an absolute beauty. Tommins put it in the top corner from like 20 yards. Ortega had no chance, and there was a little bit of a scramble towards the end, but we held on just about. Matt said, I don't understand your hate on Nunes. I do not hate Nunes in the slightest. I just think Nunes is a good footballer. That's it. I just don't get how people can't see he's nothing more than a good footballer. Manchester City's level is great. Nunes had a good game today. A good game. Did I see a Manchester City level genius player there? No, I just did not. I did not. I'm sorry. And I think Guardiola, I was watching, Guardiola was frustrated with Nunes. Nunes sulks because Guardiola was moaning at him throughout that first half because he was making the wrong choice. It's as simple as that. And I see that too. I see Nunes makes the wrong pass or runs when he shouldn't. We don't all that's not hating on him. I don't dislike Nunes. I just don't think he's a great footballer. That's not hate, is it? What do you want me to say? He's brilliant. He's not brilliant. Do you think he's Gundogan? No. Do you think he's Phil Foden? No. Do you think he's Kevin De Bruyne? No. Do you think he's Yaya Toure, David Silva? They are the standards. He isn't. He's a good footballer. He's a Europa League player. That's it. He's not a Manchester City best in the world level player. And if he was class, by the way, he'd be playing more. And ask yourself a very simple game. Do a very simple game of deduction. If he was as good as you think he is, why is he not playing? Why? Is it because maybe Guardiola doesn't think he's as good as you think he is? It really is as simple as that. He's a good... You're getting excited by the dribbles. He does fun dribbles. He runs past people. No, I'm justifying my opinion. He runs past people and he does nice... dribbles and all that, and it's quite eye-catching every now and then. It works fine against Watford. It's fine against some lower league teams, but put that against Arsenal, put that against Liverpool in the big game of the Champions League. It's not going to do anything. It doesn't, and he's fine. He's a good player. He's a perfectly fine squad player, but he's not. City bought him because we failed at Paqueta and we failed at. I'm defensive because if someone accuses me of hating on a player, I'll tell the truth. So you can, He was a punt. He was a punt. It's as simple as that. Guardiola give him more time if he deserves more time. It's really as simple as that, man. And I'll defend him because I don't like it. Victor, if you had people telling you you're a hater or insulting you, essentially, you defend yourself too, my friend. So there you go. Nunes is not our favourite player. He's your favourite player, Hella. He's about 15 players ahead of him. Well, probably 18, I would say, in that squad. And I don't dislike him. I just think he's okay. That's it. So there we go. And he had a good game today. There we go. He had a good game. He had a perfectly good game. He does some nice dribbles and he had some nice moments, but he showed why, in my opinion, he's a good player. That's it. And I thought I was happy for him to score a goal, but I wasn't happy for him to sulk about it. Grow up. You're a guy in your mid-20s there, mate, and you're playing for Manchester City Football Club. Don't sulk because Pep's telling you he does some stuff wrong. And I don't dislike him. I really don't. I think he's okay. That's it. Victor, I do want feedback, mate, but I also defend my rights, mate. So with all due respect, I appreciate feedback, but I've also got every right to say I don't agree. So as simple as that. I can give you feedback on your comments too, Victor. That's how it works, mate. So there we go. Look, I know this has been derailed a little bit by me talking about Nunes, but if people could say I'm a hater on him, I'm not. Like I don't. I've seen enough to know. He's good, but that's it. He's not Manchester City elite level. If he was, Guardiola would play him. Guardiola runs a meritocracy. I think people think Guardiola has favourites. He does to an extent, but Guardiola is very aggressive about playing the players that play well, and that's what I love about Pep Guardiola. Like, the reason Phil Foden is on the bench right now is because everyone else is doing well. He will absolutely defend the right of some players that are good enough, but he is... And also, I don't think the Portuguese love a good sulk. Some do. Some do, but you would say Bernardo, would you say Diaz? I don't know. I think it's one of those things. Some are it's just different, I don't think it's harsh to get the Portuguese. I've been to Portugal twice, and everyone's been absolutely lovely there. So I like the Portuguese, basically, I mean, you've only got to look at, exactly. Like, look at Savinho coming straight into the team. The reason Guardiola's playing Savinho a lot is because Guardiola looked at Savinho and goes, I know it's a different position, he goes, this guy is good. This guy has quality. And even though Savinho is still rusty, he has so much quality. And I wouldn't say I'm labouring my points, mate. I would argue that I'm actually just making a point, and points require colour. They require context. So that's where I'm at. But overall, to me, this was a Rico Lewis masterclass. Rico Lewis is exactly what I'm on about when it comes to Manchester City level players. You watch Rico Lewis and you see a guy whose positional awareness, his touch, his movement. Rico Lewis makes everyone else better around him. He absolutely does. Rico Lewis is a little fucking genius. I love watching that guy play football. His movement, his attitude, his work rate, his positional awareness, his touch. Rico Lewis had an absolute monster of a performance today. And then right at the very end of the game, two massive challenges when it mattered. A really lovely little interception, and then a bit of good play down the right back to clear the ball to win a goal kick. It was really good football from Rico Lewis. I thought, look, Rico Lewis is... I'm going to say this out loud. Rico Lewis is a footballing genius. He is. He's an absolute genius. Like, he is one of the most intelligent players in world football. You may not agree with that, but it's actually true. The only thing Rico Lewis does not have is probably physicality. He's electric in terms of his pace, but he hasn't got a lot of height. But what I would say is the reason I think Rico Lewis has got a chance despite his height is because his IQ is off the charts. His touch is off the charts. His movement and his brilliant. He's brilliant. He's only 19 years old still. Imagine him at 24. His understanding of space and everything, man. He's an absolute fucking Duracell bunny of a footballer with an electricity pouring from every fucking pore of him. Like, I love him, man. I think he's brilliant. Like, I know that's not overhype. He's an absolute remarkable level of intelligence. The only thing that will let him down is probably his physicality. And I reckon, creatively you could argue that he's got a little bit more to come, but that will come once again with time. And look, Guardiola says the same. Guardiola absolutely, purrs over Rico Lewis, despite his physical, deficiencies that way. He's not the biggest guy. He's the smallest guy on the pitch always. Guardiola says he's an absolute, the way he finds space, the way he makes everyone better, the way Guardiola said the other day, he said, if you ask a footballer their position, they say, I'm a left winger, I'm a defensive midfielder, I'm a right back. Rico Lewis is a footballer. He can play in any position and play anywhere. And he's absolutely bang on true. Rico Lewis has the brain. When you talk about, if I was to say to you, name me a genius level intelligent footballer, you would probably say Xavi. You would probably say Philipp Lahm, people like that. He is absolutely cut from the same cloth as someone like Philipp Lahm. I guarantee you. It's just, I don't know if he'll reach that level because once again, he's a little bit short and all that kind of stuff. But I cannot speak highly enough of how smart he is as a footballer. He's possibly the smartest footballer at Manchester City in terms of his movement. And that is saying something. And look, I thought he was absolutely excellent today, Rico Lewis. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching him. Man of the match statistically there, by the way. And the stats, look, the eye test passes it and the stats pass it. Rico Lewis had a monster of a game, So there we go. Look, 7 key passes for Rico Lewis. 107 touches. Look at those stats, man. It's just ridiculous. I need to sort of share that, by the way. It's just so good. Let me just quickly share this little bit of stat on Twitter there, because that is just absolutely ridiculous. What a player. It's just so impressive for Rico Lewis. He's honestly unreal. What a player. I love him. A genius level of footballer. And honestly, the sky's the limit for him. And I think you'll imagine him at 24 or 25 when he's even stronger. And he is stronger now, by the way, than he was 2 years ago. He really is. So there we are. Basically, as well, what I would say about everyone else on the pitch, look, people were divided on James McAtee. I thought McAtee had a really encouraging game. Look, I agree that a couple of times the ball ran away from him. If there's one thing I know about James McAtee, is his touch is excellent. I've seen enough of McAtee to know he's a high-level technical footballer. His touch is better than that. He's usually so sharp. He really is with his touch. And today he let him down a little bit. There's many potential reasons why McAtee's touch occasionally let him down today. And it's probably because it's his first game since the Community Shield. He's not played any football. Pretty certain he hasn't anyway. If not, he had a couple of minutes somewhere. I don't know if he has. I can't remember. And he's also trying to impress Guardiola on his first ever start at the Etihad for his boyhood club. But I thought McAtee's movement was really clean. I really liked his defensive work rate as well. His involvement in both the goals, by the way. Well, not perfect, but he had a 7 out of 10 game, I would argue, McAtee. He won the ball back for the first goal. He played a lovely little 1-2 for Rico Lewis that led to the second goal. He could have had an assist or two. Really nice football. Good link-up play, drifting out from different ways. Not incredible, but I thought he was good. Nico O'Reilly, of course, continues to be a project. I thought he had a decent game. I don't think he looked lost at any point. His decision-making was a little bit off every now and then, but Nico O'Reilly, to me, is a guy who, look, if you don't know the context of Nico O'Reilly, you probably look at that in isolation and go, he doesn't look that great. And I understand why you'd say that. But this is where I guess I'm sort of blessed with the background there. I know Nico O'Reilly has been really highly rated at Man City for an awful long time. He was a wonderfully gifted false 9 stroke attacking midfielder who scored wonder goals when he was like 16, 17 all the time. Incredibly talented attacking midfielder that had basically pretty much all of last season out. He was injured seriously. Then Guardiola looked at him and went, I like you. You're going to be a defensive midfielder because you're big and strong and you've got something about you. And he's probably thinking, oh, okay. So he's learning this new role, but not really playing football. And when he does play for the DS, he plays as attacking midfielder again. So Guardiola wants him to be a DM. He's trying to learn a new role, playing for the best team in the country, if not one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world, and try to learn how to be Rodri. Of course, he's going to look a little bit confused every now and then, but you can see that big, leggy strength that he's got, the way that he covers ground really well. I like it. He's not yet a perfect number 6, but he does have that sort of strong, leggy stride, and for now, he's got to learn a little bit more, but I like it, and I can see what Guardiola's going for there. No rush with Nico O'Reilly. Keep him around the first team. Let him keep getting performances like this every now and then. Let him keep learning from Rodri and Gundogan, the very best to do it. And we'll see where he's at as a year or two from now. And once again, McAtee, look, his retention, the way he runs with the ball, I really like it. To me, look, I'll talk about Nunes a little bit more again. I feel he actually had a good game. I still don't think he has the technical ability and the precision with his passing, I would argue. Look, he's good at carrying the ball. He occasionally can score good long-range goals. I can give you that. And he's got a good work rate. But that's sort of like, he's more physical impressive than he is technical. But, if he can work on it and get better, prove me wrong, man. I really like Jack Grealish tonight as well. Jack Grealish, I thought, was absolutely excellent. Grealish looks aggressive right now, man. He's found his mojo again, Jack Grealish. And I'm really happy to see it. I thought he was involved in so much. 4 key passes tonight. I'll show you the stats right now for Jack Grealish. There we go. 1 assist tonight, 1 shot on target, 86% pass accuracy, 106 touches, 4 key passes. He was aggressive, and not every dribble he did came off, but I really liked him running at people. And that's all you can ask for Jack Grealish, Go at people, be aggressive, assert yourself, and I really liked it. Savinho, by the way, that's a superstar, man. He's great beating people when he's up against 2, or he's great at covering 60 yards. Sane-esque. Look, I really like Savinho, and he's just 20 years old, 21 years old, whatever it is. He's still brand new to this league, and look, what's really exciting for me is that he's a proper footballer. He's a proper winger. What I mean by that is proper wingers, proper footballers, doesn't matter what level they're at, doesn't matter who they're up against, they're just effective. They're just effective because he just beats people. He's just irrepressible. And Savinho has so much ability. We saw his assist against Arsenal the other day. He should have scored 2 of the goals this season contenders for City so far. Today he was so unlucky. He is going to be some footballer. He really is. And I've not even mentioned the new lad today. Caden Braithwaite. Look, it's so impressive for this young lad. Caden Braithwaite, a guy, I'm going to be honest, I only semi-heard of his name, did not know anything about him at all. He only joined the under-18s this season. He's just still 16 years old. Ridiculous. 95% pass accuracy today, Look, crisp passing, looked good. I think he got a little bit lucky, if I'm being honest, for that goal. He should have been given. He was stronger than him. But to me, that was very much a 16-year-old up against a 24-year-old physical powerhouse of a winger in Bar, who has got a lot of strength for a lot of Traore-esque physicality. And I think he got outstrengthened, if I'm being honest. There's not much you can do about that. You can say you got to hit the gym. No, he just needs father time to catch up. He's just a young lad, man. There's no 16-year-old. Not many 16-year-olds who are physically freakish at that age. He just needs to grow up. It's simple as that. But what I do like about him, look, he looks mature, absolutely composed. His touch was good. His passing, at no point did he look like he was overawed by the occasion. I can see why Guardiola looked at him in training and thought, do you know what? I like what I see there. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed his little performance, and hopefully we're going to see more of him overall. Kyle was fine until he gave the ball away for their goal, but once again, a world-class goal for them. Phil was rusty, actually, I would say. Phil, a couple of nice moments, but I'm not going to panic over Phil. He's played at various positions since he came back. He's played a false 9 now. He played 1 game against Chelsea, then he was off for a few weeks, and now look, he's played 3 or 4 games now. He's at pre-season level still, and Phil, it will come. But I think he's definitely still the option for false 9, I would reckon. We will see. And I thought it was a really nice cameo for Jacob Wright too. Jacob Wright came on and had a few nice touches, kept the ball really calmly, recycled it nicely. You can see where the Jorginho comparisons come from. Overall, I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect. It was fine. It was absolutely fine. It wasn't a night I'll remember, but I saw some nice little stories. A further proof of Rico Lewis's endearing genius. I saw seeds of hope and promise for James McAtee. Nunes put himself in the headlines. Fingers crossed he can build on that. Braithwaite looks so talented. Jack goes from strength to strength. Lovely goal for Jeremy Doku. Happy for him. And it was nice to see City go through, 48 hours after that. We needed to see something, some positivity, And I don't think it was perfect, but we've been here before, And I'm more than happy with it after the Rodri news. And Odin says, any news on level for Rodri injury? Not officially, but it's pretty much accepted. It's an ACL. I didn't think it was a horrible watch at all. I think some people just view the world differently to me. Like, we had 25 shots on goal. It wasn't perfect. I didn't know what you expected with that team. Like, that is the most Carabao Cup-y of Carabao Cup games ever. We've seen so many. Like, do you remember, was it Wickham a few years ago? It was like, we had to bring on the senior players and we won 3-4-1 or something in the end. When Jesus and everyone, Swindon. We see, it's so Carabao Cup. Like, Carabao Cup games are pretty much, they're either dead comfortable or like that where we win, but it's a little bit scrappy. It's just a Carabao Cup game, man. It was fine. It was absolutely fine. I guess it depends what you go in. I feel like, I wouldn't say it was slow and stale in terms of quality at all, mate. We created numerous big chances, and that should have been 4-0. So like, it was a Carabao Cup game with young lads. One guy you'd never even heard of playing. So let's go through the team once again. So here we go. Let's break it down and wonder why it wasn't crisp and fast. So you've got Ortega's first game of the season. This guy no one's ever heard of, a left back playing. Nico Riley's first game since the Community Shield, young lad. McAtee's first game since the Community Shield. Phil Foden playing as a false nine. Nunes' first start of the season. Like, when you look at it that way, like, I don't get why people expect something more than that, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we're through. Rico Lewis continues to be an absolute brilliant superstar. I'll do the 5 things that we learned tomorrow, but I enjoyed that. I don't think it was perfect, but it was what I expected it to be. A sort of, not perfect, some good moments, some lovely bits of football. And there was some nice bits of football. Look, and you can talk about it being dull, but I would argue, look, the little one-touch football that led to the second goal, the brilliant dribbles from Savinho, some of the chances that were created were really nice, Not perfect, but they were nice. Guys, I love you all loads. City are through. 2-1. It will do. Bye-bye. Subscribe, like, comment in a bit.